It's Katrina, aka Moon Vibes, here in the building. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the fear of failure versus the fear of success. So let's just start off with the definition of fear. Webster's is an unpleasant and often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. That definitely sounds like something we don't want to deal with because, you really don't want to be in danger. But that's our human mechanism to let us know that things are about to go awry or that we need to regroup and think about what we're doing. And so the first part of that is the fear of success. And that's something that a lot of people go through. A lot of people feel those feelings. And a lot of people don't really know how to tackle it. They don't know how to go about eliminating it. And that's something that I can share with you guys. So let's just go with the definition of success. So that way we're clear and we understand we're all on the same page. It's a degree or measure of attaining a desired outcome. So that's something that, that's the way that we kind of figure out how we, it's a way that we kind of figure out how well we're doing in our lives. And it's by our successes and also by our failures, but most of the time it's by our successes. But then there are moments where we can get into our head. We can kind of make things more difficult because we may not know the outcome. We may not know what's going to happen. And so one way to kind of counteract that is to literally get out of your head. Sometimes you can take a walk. Sometimes you can change your scenery. You can maybe talk to someone and just see what makes sense and what doesn't. The second way that we can kind of overcome that fear of success is with the acceptance of self. And so that means that we are accepting ourselves where we're at the moment that we are. And we're basically saying that we're okay in that moment. But then moving forward and letting yourself know that you're okay, you're fine, you're right where you're supposed to be. And that's cool too. And then the third way, leading right into it, is having mantras or things that we say to ourselves to coach ourselves. So some of those things are, one of them that I love to use is I'm okay. Because literally that makes it so that you know that you're okay. Because remember, when you're in the fear moment, that unpleasant or often strong emotion, you kind of have to tell yourself you're okay. That you're not in danger. Because you're not in any imminent danger. But there is that danger of maybe not doing what you should be doing. Or taking on the moment of pushing yourself and being more ambitious. When I actually started to do this video, I completely had a huge fear of going about it, making sure I was doing it right, making sure that things looked all great and wonderful, and, just feeling like I needed to have it perfect and not really thinking about what I was actually going to give. And so I had to take a step back and I said, I'm okay. And I kept saying that, and I'm still saying that now in my head. And I also spoke to my lovely boyfriend. And he kind of said, hey, listen, this is just, we're going to do this, and this is what it is. So I had that mantra, which is mine, of I'm okay. Some other mantras that you could use are, this too shall pass. or this too shall pass, I'm okay. But things that affirm that you're right where you're supposed to be. Or saying the thing that you really, really want and saying you already have it. That is a great way to actually overcome that fear of success because you're already imagining yourself in it already and it's there. And so if you just push yourself to be there, even though you're not there, it's just acting as if and getting there, acting as if until you get where you want to be. And so let's go into a fear of failure. It's completely normal. It's something that everyone kind of feels after they've attempted something, that going into something and saying, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for, this is what my ambition is leading me to. And it's something that everyone kind of feels once they attempt something and it doesn't go as the way that they planned it. And so let's go with the definition of failure. And it's just the lack of success. That doesn't mean that you can't get there. It's just something maybe wasn't right. Maybe something just didn't plan out well or didn't pan out well. Or maybe there were other factors that made it so that it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. And so the fear of failure is just when you have that goal and you don't obtain what you wanted. You attempted it, it came out, and it just didn't get there. And in those moments, you want to just go back to the task at hand and make sure that you're being as ambitious as you possibly could be. And so one of the ways, three ways that you can do this is, first off, going back to the drawing board. That's where you look at your plan, you see what maybe mistakes need to be tweaked, what needs to happen differently this time, or what things you can keep, what things, just didn't make sense in that moment. And you can also do that based on whatever, when you look at other people's stories or when you just look at your own plan and see where those holes were. So you just want to make sure that you're plugging those holes up and going back into it and definitely going again and trying it again because that's super important. And that will help you overcome that fear of success. Because if you keep trying, that fear of failure will start to disappear and you'll kind of go there. The other part, next thing that you can do is to ask for guidance. I mean, we all have people in our lives, places that we can go to, that we can refer to these things to make sure, or people that we can make sure that we're doing something right. And so you ask people, hey, listen, I'm attempting this thing. I want to do this. This is where I want to be, but I don't really know how to get there. Or I kind of have an idea of how I want to get there, but this part didn't work, that part didn't work, and I need some help. And asking for help is a great way to overcome fears. Because, what better thing to do than to have people or things or ideas to push you along? It's something that we've had in our lives since we were born, since we were thought of. So, that's definitely a thing that I always encourage people to do. That's something that I've had to learn over the years, to ask for help, to ask for guidance, to accept it, which is a whole nother part. And run with it and see how it makes sense for you. And then the last thing that you can do to kind of counteract that fear of failure is to dream bigger. Because, hey, what better thing to do than to go big or go home? So, and be okay with it. And that goes back to those mantras that you want to do. And say to yourself so that way you can keep it in mind that you are okay. But dreaming bigger is something that can definitely help you with the fear of failure because maybe your idea was too small and you weren't really pushing yourself in the direction that made sense because it was just not big enough to where you needed it to be. So when you're going back to the drawing board, think about, hey, could this be something that I need to be doing bigger moments with? Or is this something that, this stagnant is right here where I need to be, or this moment is where I need to be? But if you do decide to dream bigger, which you will, you just have to be okay with it. All right, I hope this really helped you. I hope this made sense for you. You can definitely reach out to me in email. My email will be in my About section, and I'm also going to try to put it in the description box below. I may try to put it in the comments, but I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel about that. But definitely reach out and email. And stay tuned for the next one. Later. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.